Tonight we're asking the uncomfortable questions. Is cheating, taking over pickleball, line calls, fines?
When you get up to the higher level, $100 for some of these people at the games, that's nothing. The earlier rounds.
I already just took 3 days off of work.
Yeah, I took 3 days off of work. I finally made it to the main draw, and this top level player hooked me. And now I have to pay $100 just to see if maybe it's right or not.
Podcast confession.
Mo openly admitted that he makes bad calls.
People just so openly saying, hey, yeah, I made that bad line call.
Playing for a $90,000 prize pool.
And I'll do it again.
I think it's bad
That's
for
so
the
crazy.
game.
And rating resets.
By saying you need to do an 8-week reset, it's like, hey, maybe our algorithm doesn't really work, or maybe we need some cash.
Welcome back to the Southern Pickleball Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Diadem Sports. The Diadem official pickleball is the official pickleball, Southern Pickleball, and of the world, and the only balls we like to play with. Tonight we're asking the uncomfortable questions. Is cheating, taking over pickleball? We're going over line calls, fines, podcast confessions, and rating resets. That's right, you heard that right. The DUPR Reset is about a week away. We've got pros admitting they've missed calls, we've got controversial reputations, and we got the $35 DUPR Reset button. And let me tell you, we got plenty to talk about there. As always, I'm everyone's favorite 4-4 DUPR, Corin Duginski, and joined today by Mark Spackman, the co-host of the Southern Pickleball Podcast and the co-founder of Southern Pickleball, MaryEmily Landers, the director of marketing for Southern Pickleball, and the man you know, Zach Deutsch, our pro pickleball correspondent, the man in the know. In the know so much, we're deleting stuff left and right for this guy because he's just leaking all this insider stuff. Don't worry, you'll know in due time. All right, so why don't we get started with Mark? Mark, we have some rule changes in the PPA.
Yeah, so an email went out, I guess it's been like a week ago now. So I think I'm just going to share this info, but with your intro, are you no longer Jeannie Bouchard's #1 fan?
My wife told me I couldn't be anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to be.
All right, so anyway,
fan.
An email went out to all the contracted players. It was really to deter continued bad calls by repeat offenders, which we've been seeing more and more, a big issue in pro pickleball. The new rules involve in-match penalties, post-match video review, and a running tally of offenses that can culminate in league-level penalties, and such as greater fines and even suspensions. In-match penalties will break down like this. First offense, a warning. Second offense, a point penalty. Third offense, game penalty. Fourth offense, match penalty. Sounds very similar to tennis. For more egregious calls, players can now appeal via email to the UPA's recently instating fining committee for a post-match review. Would like to know who's on the fining committee.
I was just going to ask who was that.
Relying on stream video recording taking from each match. According to the league email circulated players, it will cost $100 for the fining committee to review the call. And if the call is unanimously agreed upon to have been inaccurate, the player making the call will be fined $250 for their first offense, and the player initiating the challenge will be refunded their $100, fee for submitting it. For now, this remains a temporary solution while the league continues to explore additional approaches on a larger scale, and the policy pertains only to courts where challenges are not available and is not applicable to Major League Pickleball matches, only those that are part of the PPA tour. While outcomes will not be reversed, offenders will be penalized, and reviews will build a record of misconduct that informs future penalties.
All right, so that's a start.
Well, I can say, to answer part of your question about who's on the committee, Zane is the president of the player committee, so he's going to...
Which Zane?
Zane Navratil.
The one we like.
Yes.
Who's still playing on the tour.
Right.
So you can, what if Zane wants to submit?
What if you
What
submit
if
when
someone has something
it
against Zane?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that would be much, because,
Right.
It's like,
I think Zane's even said he's made bad calls before.
I think that's the
unintentionally.
problem with all of this, though, at its core, right? It's because everyone's out here now finally admitting that they're like, hey, yeah, I made that bad call very intentionally, and I'm going to keep doing it because I don't like you.
I tell you what, that's like a Travis Retmeyer caught a ball out that was this far in, and then posted a video the next day and was like, yeah, I did that. That was me. But
I remember that. We talked about that a lot.
Yeah. But I tell you, one thing that strikes me here is you have to pay to get this reviewed. And then so either you pay $100 or you might get your $100 back. But guess what? then the other player is paying $250. So what's up with that? Why are we paying for the PPA to do their job and create like an even good playing field? It's kind of weird, isn't it?
I also think it skews players that are in a position where they can't afford to be challenging. I mean, when you get up to the higher level, $100 for some of these people at the games, that's nothing. But also, I mean, if you're looking at, one of the earlier rounds, round of 64, whatever, you have someone that's saying, hey,
They already just took 3 days off of work.
yeah, I took 3 days off of work. I'm still sitting here. I finally made it to the main draw, and now this top-level player hooked me. They made an out call, and now I have to pay $100 just to see if maybe it's right or not.
I do think I get it. I agree with that completely. I do think you have to have something though, so you just don't have everybody protesting every single call.
Yeah.
And that's what And I had an interesting conversation the other day with Jason Aspis, talking about paddles and could that be the wave of the future where you can protest a player's paddle because you can't. We haven't really figured out a system where you can test them all, but maybe I could, if I'm playing against somebody, I could protest it and pay like a fee to. It was just some ideas.
I think they did that for a while too.
So.
You could after a match or something, you could make them send their paddle into testing and have to get tested.
I think when we were going with that conversation, we was talking about how do we get that down into the amateur ranks. He's doing a great job of cleaning up everything at the pro ranks and all this, but. I don't know. I get us off topic. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing is it makes it's a real issue. They're trying to address it, which means it's a real issue. I think that's the number one complaint with pro pickleball right now is how is this a pro league and you're making your own calls?
Right. I mean, it's tough. The thing is part of the issue is that there's not enough referees that can actually be there. I mean, you've seen so many times where players are getting upset with referees that are doing these pro matches because they appeal to the ref and the ref can't make a call. And now the line calling technology, the challenge technology, is only available on championship court and grandstand court.
Yeah.
So that makes it even more difficult. And sometimes even the technology is faulty. I mean, I've seen plenty of times already where there's been a line call challenge and they said, sorry, the frame where the ball actually hit the court skipped, so we don't have the exact spot where it hit, so we can't overturn it.
But aren't you going to get that same thing now? It's just going to be a player paying $100 to say, hey, the frame skipped. Sorry, we couldn't tell you, but thanks for giving us $100 to try to look at it and tell. I mean...
Oh, did they overturn it so they get $250? If they get $250, fine. If the guy,
if it does get overturned,
they get more money that way. But
I don't know. It's weird. I tell you what, though, I do feel. I feel for the refs. I think the refs probably need more power, but I don't know. I'm sure Mark has. I'm sure even you have, Zach. Probably even MaryEmily. But we'll have some of these amateur tournaments where people are like, hey, can you come ref for us? And I tell you, the first thing I say is hey, I'm here. I'll call a score. I am looking for foot faults, so kitchen faults. I'm not really seeing out balls. You can ask me if I saw it, and if I did see it, I'll let you know. But 99% of the time, I'm not going to call it because I don't see it. I'm looking at other things.
Well, we get that even more with our live streaming on Southern Pickleball TV as well. I mean, I know you've been in the booth. I'm usually the person that's behind the scenes with it, with Junior, who's doing this podcast here for us. But we get a lot of people that after they feel like a ball is questionable, all of a sudden they look to us and we're like, hey, I can't say anything. And also, I mean, our technology, our cameras they're not picking up that. I mean, they're great cameras. We have great live streams, but at the same point, it's not there to challenge a line call.
Yeah.
It's got to be a nightmare for tournament directors. I mean, all these facilities are popping up, and part of the things that players are enjoying is the fact that a lot of these facilities do have the cameras that they're able to use to record their matches.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to having a tournament there, they want to use those cameras and that replay system for making line call judgments. And I mean, as a tournament director, Mark, Corin, MaryEmily, all of us have been on the tournament director side of things. How can you actually manage players wanting to use that? I mean, what happens if the line calls are so bad in one match over and over and over again? What do you do as a tournament director? You can't referee that match fully the way that they want it to be refereed, right?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot to unpack there. So one, what do you do as a player? And always tell me if you really think you're getting hooked or whatever, don't play the whole match out and wait till after the match and then come up to the tournament desk and complain about your opponent. Just take your time out, ask for a tournament director, and you come. And I do think, and that goes to Corin's point, is that really when you have the one referee, they're a glorified scorekeeper to something.
Yeah.
They are looking for foot faults. But I think just by the presence of the person on the side of the court, the line calls do start to change. I also think most of the time, even though we've had some funny things on the live stream where we've seen some calls that were wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But even when it's just live stream and you got an announcer, the calls get better when you know. So I think it's just that having the accountability of somebody there. I mean, the other issue is that, I think it's different with amateur and pro. The pro players, I mean, with the type money they're playing for and careers on the line, they got to figure it out. They can invest in the technology, whatever. But I'm sure that Connor and his team, they sit around the office going, why are we having to invest in all this? Because the players are just cheating if they would just play fair. But, can they really see him, or are they cheating?
Well, I mean, think of it like this, right? Tennis also had a little bit of that human error issue, despite the fact that with these pro tennis tournaments, they had all of those line judges that are along the back and along the side and all that stuff. But then they instituted the robot calls.
Yeah.
A lot.
Eagle Eye.
I mean, why? I don't know how much it costs, and I don't know PPA's finances. I know that they just put out this whole thing about wanting to raise $150 to $200 million. Why not add in another $10 to $15 million and invest in that technology to where you can have the mechanical line calls?
Yeah.
PPA wants to grow, right? The goal is to grow. The goal is to earn as much money as possible. Well, guess what? This society that we live in, we've talked about it plenty of times on this podcast and just in general. Part of the growth process for PPA is, and pickleball in general, is going to be the ability for fans to bet on pickleball in a legal way. Well, you cannot put money on PPA or pickleball matches where the calls are in the hands of the players, because you have no idea how they're going to be able to sway and influence those calls based off of if they know what the gambling market looks like, right? So you have to have something that is more secure. You have to have something that is more professional. 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, UPA had a thing in place called Clear Vision, and it had the ball tracking system and everything like that, but something broke down to where, I don't know if it was money or they felt like the technology was going to work, so they changed up what they were going to do, and now they have this new company, and still, it's not a perfect system. And I don't think that the penalty is a perfect system either, because right now the only penalty is that you lose if you lose your first one, then you lose your challenge. If you lose the second one, then you lose a timeout and you get a technical warning. Then if you lose the third one, then you get a point. It's a point penalty against you.
But ultimately, it just comes down to the players sometimes cheating, right?
Well,
I mean,
that players are sometimes cheating. I want to get to that.
Okay.
And actually, that's going to be our next thing. Before we get to that, though, just really quick, this next segment, we're actually going to talk about that, is sponsored and brought to you by the Southern Pickleball Team Leagues. And I hope you're as excited about this as I am. So this is structured competitive team formats across the Southeast. Reach out to info@southernpickleball.com for more info on how to bring team leagues to your city and your facility. And let me tell you, again, I'll say this every day of my life. If you've never played team pickleball, start, because it is much better. I think it is literally the greatest thing about pickleball is you get a team together playing in a league. It's just like week after week. It's so fun. Sorry for that. Just wanted to put that out there real quick because it's coming your way and it's coming soon. So be ready. But so we're talking about players deliberately cheating, right?
Oh,
and we had on the Balls Deep podcast, which, by the way, what a name.
Great name.
Great name. This is hosted by Ava Ignatowicz and Camilla Zilvetti. And on that show, they had comments about missing line calls or benefiting from close calls. I think, MaryEmily, you watch it a little bit.
Some, yeah. I think that they're great. They're good comedy. I mean, I feel like it's just very,
it's a wild
raw.
one.
It's very raw. It's very real. I mean, I think that that's like what Ava and Camilla, you guys are doing awesome at. Just really going out here, being open, having the conversations, and not being afraid to say what you feel. I think that that's what we need a little bit more of sometimes with some of these conversations.
Yeah.
So we like it. Yeah.
Immaturity that I find very entertaining.
I think everybody likes it.
Unfiltered.
They're unfiltered. But they did talk about, I think it was Ava Ignatowicz playing, was it Jesse Irvine?
I think maybe, I can't remember all the specifics, but they're just openly talking about who makes bad calls.
Missing
and
calls.
They've made bad calls.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I hooked him. I didn't like him. I think at one point they were saying to me, hey, I hooked her because I didn't like her accent, or something.
So crazy.
This past tournament in Mesa, Camilla was posting clips on her Instagram of intentionally nasty Nelsoning people.
Well, I do love a good Nelson.
Well, how do you
She tried to Nelson.
How do you not
How do you
intentionally?
not do that intentionally?
It's always intentional.
Is there any such thing as an accidental nasty Nelson?
I mean, actually, I'm not gonna lie. At my level, there is, but
We might talk about that later with the whole DUPR thing. But if you're accidentally nasty Nelson people, take a lesson with Corin.
You got the yips. Yeah, come see me because you got the yips. No, but it's now steering though, where maybe you want to see it like as they're just being honest, like, oh, okay, I've done. But this is a professional sport. It's not about being
At what
honest.
point
anymore.
is being honest,
It's
calling
about
out
the
yourself?
integrity and
Yeah, I'm a cheater.
I mean, you want to
Yeah.
talk about honesty? Let me tell you. There was a whole big controversy at a tournament between Mo Alhouni and Tyson McGuffin
Yeah.
a few months ago about
Shout
how
out
Mo
Mo.
felt Tyson was hooking him, and Tyson definitely was getting hooked by Mo. Well, at the time, Mo was just like, "I'm not trying to cheat. I'm trying to have a good
Yeah.
reputation." Well, at the most recent tournament on live stream, he was playing against Jay DVA in a singles match,
Yeah.
and openly admitted on stream, he goes, Jay, I know I make bad line calls,
Yeah.
man, but come on, that's really bad. He knows what he's
I
doing.
know I have a reputation, but come on.
I know I make bad line calls, but what you
Yeah.
just did is really bad. But the thing is that Jay's call was not bad. It was actually,
It was all right.
it was good. I mean, the ball was out, clearly out on the serve and clearly wide on another one. And Mo's like, "Come on, Jay, why are you hooking me like this?" Jay wasn't, but Mo openly admitted that he makes bad calls. So, at least he's taking some responsibility.
Has anybody ever hooked you?
I mean, probably.
Okay, you're aware of? Have you thought somebody made a bad?
I think that there are times when I always wonder. I mean, like that, like you get that questionableness, like behind, like if you play something close to the line. But at the same, I mean, I like to believe that everyone's being an honest player. So
Ish. I think there's a couple of things though. I think one thing is we keep doing this thing like pro to amateur, but like amateur tennis, for example, like you still make your own line calls in amateur tennis, right? And that's okay. That's accepted, and you're gonna make probably a bad call. And I think one thing is you're running to the ball.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see the ball perfect. But I think we can't. I don't think we can sit here and like really compare amateur line calls to pro line calls. When I'm paying, $50, $60, $70, if it's a PPA, I'm paying $900.
I get all that, but I'm just asking you, Corin, have you ever had anybody on the other side of the pickleball court that you think was intentionally cheating you on calls at open play?
Zachary cheats me all the time.
Don't try and damage my
Zachary cheats me
reputation.
every time I play him.
I don't cheat Corin at all. I'm
Baloney.
I really don't think that I just don't know anybody that I've really had that's intentionally.
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like that's like kind of like where I'm coming out with it. Like when I'm playing in like a tournament in a league, even I think that there might be times when I'm like, I really feel like that ball was probably in.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I don't think that anyone's doing it because they're like maliciously doing it. I think it's because, hey, like I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I'm playing someone that's like 60 or 70 years old and I'm like, your eyesight maybe not that great. And I'm pretty sure that ball was on the line. In fact, I know it was. But you know what? You were running and doing it and you said it was out. So, I mean, whatever, here we are.
As your dad at 57, I find the 60 to 70-year-old comment offensive.
You're wearing glasses
wearing
right now.
glasses.
So I do feel like my point does in fact still stand.
I mean, I think at this point, at least for a lot of people who are active on social media, everybody's seen that post at some point of the 5 degrees of separation and 5 places of perspective where somebody places a ball.
Oh,
I was
thought
like,
we were, I thought we were talking about the Kevin Bacon thing
Yeah.
again.
I was like, I don't really know exactly what we're talking about here, but yeah, sure.
There's a post where there's 5 balls placed on the court. One's right on the line.
Oh yeah, and which way
Yeah.
you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which way you see it. I mean, do I think that a lot of people are intentionally calling in balls out or out balls in?
Oh, I just thought of somebody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I just thought of a cheater that plays with us.
It's I mean,
Call them out. Do it. We're gonna channel the balls deep energy right now. Go for it.
I don't think it's fully intentional, but I do think that bad calls are made. I mean, I don't think that any one of us, and I don't think anybody that's ever played pickleball, especially at a tournament, can sit there and say that there's never been a shot that they have hit, whether it's a serve that, they thought was good because it was a deep serve or something that was on the line, or even an ATP where they thought that the ball was in and their opponent called it out, and you just kind of like feel defeated a little bit. So you just kind of stand there and you're like, really? And you kind of walk back to the baseline, or you walk to your spot, and you can't let it go.
But I do feel like that is circling back to the amateur versus pro difference that you were even touching on. That is a difference with it, because I do think that us all being amateur players, regardless of how serious we're sitting out here taking it, you might think that Mr. 4-4 Corin Duperman over here is playing like a pro, but ultimately we're all amateur players, right? So there is a level of difference that's coming with that when you do have these players that are playing in main draw that are sitting here and they have that money on the line almost, where like for us, I'm putting out money to play at this tournament. There's no chance I'm winning anything even. And maybe that's also where the difference is. But I do think that that's where the problematicness of it almost lies, with people just so openly saying, hey, yeah, I made that bad line call and I'll do it again. And I'll do it again at the next tournament.
Yeah.
And the next one too.
I mean,
and that is what it is.
What's stopping the amateurs from doing that?
Well, but I think how hard, like if these pros now are winning, I think it's like $90,000 if you win men or women's doubles, right? Or even mixed, I think. It's like, it was the new PPA.
Depending on what level,
you're telling me that I'm playing for a $90,000 prize pool, $45,000 each, and you're just going to openly call the ball out and then go on your little podcast? Nah, it's not little whatever, but you're going to go on your little podcast and be like, oh, yeah, I called it out. Or like Travis Ratmeyer, like, yeah, I called that out because I didn't.
I think it's bad for
so
the
crazy.
game. I think we've seen all these suspensions and all whatever. I mean, I think that's where, the PPA has to step in and say if they're openly admitting it, or, that's got a bigger issue.
Which is what they're trying to do.
If I ever see you at rec play after accusing me of hooking you on, now I'm going to on purpose.
I'll bring video evidence. I'm going to bring video evidence. No, but I do, everyone's
going to start walking on your cameras. So
that is what they're trying to fix. That is another issue, is now, like, amateur players will be recording their games. And then they'll come up with, hey, there's a bad line call. Can I show you the video? As the tournament director, I'm like,
they probably didn't even ask me to record it, which is another thing.
Yeah, did you get everyone's permission? Did they sign a waiver? But
now
and then it's like
me out on social media.
It's like, hey, no, I can't use that, And I get that you've taken that video and you think that video shows, but B, I guarantee the angle of your video is not correct to make this line call, and it's just like it goes into this whole big.
I still remember there was a match at the Hop in Noonan when I was at the Hop. And it was a very heated match between two teams, and there were literally so many delays because they could not agree on line calls, but everybody that was on the court was recording it, so they both kept reviewing their cameras, and it delayed the tournament.
That's crazy.
By like 45 minutes, and I'm just like, guys, we cannot keep doing this. Like, I get that you want a fair game and you want the points to go your way, but come on.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, in that scenario where I don't, condone the tournament delay or whatever. It sounds like they were trying to do it to get a fair result. The two teams were working together to get a fair result rather than just.
But how can it be fair if one team says out, one team says in, one team's camera says in, the other team says.
Well, it ends up going on and on and on.
Part of the problem is that I didn't find out about it until like it was almost over, when somebody came up to me and said, hey, you really got to come and get this, because they just keep pausing the game to look at their cameras.
Yeah.
So, if I had known that it was going on at the time, I probably would have put a stop to it before it even got started. But, it's just tough as a tournament director. Like, as a tournament director, how do you manage all of these players? I get it. You want fair line calls. You don't want to be hooked, especially not in a...
Swing Vision. Call us. Give us a ring. Send us an email, info@southernpickleball.com. If you want the big dog, mark@southernpickleball.com. Swing Vision. Call us.
This would be a good time. Anybody, on a serious note, if you're interested in getting involved with, I think we're now the largest amateur pickleball community in the world. We have a new guy, Mike Byrne, on our team that's handling our strategic growth and partnerships. So you can email Mike at southernpickleball.com. He'd be glad to show you how to get connected with us. So that would be something. I lost my train of thought. So now I'm so busy trying to get Mike's.
Shout out Mike. Let's do this real quick.
I think a lot of people, due to their line calls, probably are a little bit upset with their dupers because their dupers get affected, right?
Yeah, but before we go deeper, I thought about just one thing. I just did want to tell, because we got a lot of players that are listening to this. I don't think everybody knows the rule about line calls, though. So, Corin, if I, question, I'm not sure, I don't see it, I can ask you as my opponent.
Yes.
If you saw. And whenever I do that, most of the time the opponent will say, "Oh, I don't know, I didn't." But you're supposed to tell me if you did see it, you're supposed to call it in or out.
And it was in.
Yeah, but that's what happens. That's what happens. But you're supposed to tell me honestly.
Yeah.
And then the other thing though is that once I ask you, if I didn't see it and I give you, I've given up my right to the call. So whether I like your call or not, that is the call. But
Fair enough.
So
Professionally, real quick, who are the worst line callers other than Mo Alhouni?
Zane Ford's pretty bad.
He's a
head case, man.
There was like a whole incident you were telling me about, like an amateur thing.
He was watching a junior PPA match with his fiance's sister, and the report is that the sister and the fiance they're Russian, and so the fiance was coaching the sister in Russian. His fiance's sister.
Okay.
Was playing.
So his fiance's Russian?
Yeah, his fiance's Russian. Her sister was playing. She was coaching her in Russian. And then there was a ball that was hit by Zane's fiance's sister's opponent that reportedly, it's hard to tell from the video angle because it's behind.
And that would be the problem with these video angles that we're trying to figure out. Yeah. It's hard to tell.
But there was a sound, and it looked like the ball hit her foot. And but she called the ball out, and then her opponent challenged through the referee, like, "Hey, that ball hit her." And Zane's fiance's sister was just like, "No, I called it out." And then she kind of looked back at where her sister and Zane were sitting, and Zane said, "No, that ball did not hit you. You call that ball out." And then so the opponent's dad went up to Zane and was like, "Hey, why are you influencing the game? Why are you doing this? Like, it's junior PPA. Like, this is not what this is supposed to be about." And Zane's response was, "Do you know who I am?"
No, actually,
probably I don't.
The average pickleball player does not have a clue who you are.
The guy was saying, like, "Yes, I do know who you are." And Zane was like, "Yeah, I just came off a championship court." He lost. But yeah, I just came off champion. And it was just became this whole big deal. And like, it seemed like they had to be separated. And I mean, junior PPA.
I'm a little uncomfortable talking about Zane because I think he might like slash my tires if he knew who it was.
He'd be pretty easy to pick out of a lineup with those dumb glasses that he wears.
I could not pick Zane Ford out of a crowd, and I am chronically online for pickleball. So sorry, Zane. I guess maybe you will slash mine.
Zane, I have a 205-pound dog in my house if you're good.
I mean, Zane Ford's pretty bad. Somebody that we haven't really seen too much.
Jill Braverman.
Yeah, Jill.
Jilly B.
She's pretty bad.
Oh, she's not really bad. She's
notoriously bad.
Bad.
Yeah,
and it's
awful.
That's a good lead.
I haven't watched any APP recently because I just don't watch APP. But I mean, it's hard to get rid of a reputation.
I used to love her podcast though. What was that called though?
I don't know. She's pretty active on Twitter too. But she also
she's a strong voice. She's a
voice.
A controversial voice, but a strong one. And honestly, not even fully hating it all the time. Love the power. Love a woman who's gonna say it like she means it, but she really, really means it.
I love her take. She'll go head to head with the PPA.
I mean, she did.
Yeah.
She lost, but she did.
Yeah.
Maybe not the wisest.
She didn't come out victorious.
Definitely stagnant in something there, but
talking about a bridge loan and all this other stuff, and
something like
Connor took advantage and shut that down real quick. And then I remember Connor tweeted about putting Jillian on center court to watch her get demolished in the PPA in one of the PPA tournaments that she participated in, and that's exactly what happened. And
it's the kind of pettiness I love.
Yeah, he kind of got the last laugh as far as that would go.
Didn't she also work for DUPR at some point?
Yeah, it's a great lead into the DUPR Reset because she was a part of DUPR, and so now we have, well, first of all, before we even go, the most debated line caller in the history of pickleball worked for probably the most debated rating system in the history of the world. Like, forget pickleball, in every sport, DUPR might be one of the biggest debated
Sparking
rating
all the
systems
controversy.
ever. Yeah. But this is a good time to talk about DUPR Reset. So we'll go back over to Mark, because Mark has the information, or he should.
Yeah, I do. Starts next week. I was like, oh, crap. The one thing I was supposed to do is have these rules ready, and here I am. But key DUPR Reset rules and requirements, the minimum requirements. Well, I think the honest minimum requirement is you must pay $35, but that's beside the point. Minimum requirements, you must complete at least 8 matches with at least 2 different partners, doubles, or 8 matches against 2 different opponents, singles. There's no downside risk. Your rating will not drop below your original rating if the new period results in a lower score. All matches during the reset window count, except for self-reported matches. Those don't count. You're during the rating period, which I think goes from March to, is it May? I think 2 months.
March to May.
Yeah. Your rating will continue to move normally based on the match results throughout the reset period. Integrity, intentional tanking, cheating, or match fixing during the period will result in removal from the reset and potential bans. If you do not meet the minimum requirements, the rating reverts to the original state. I'd really be curious to know in the DUPR frequently asked questions, if your rating doesn't end up where you want it to be, do you get your money back? I'm guessing that's no. It's $35 in. But that's it. A chance for $35 to make your rating higher.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's everyone's favorite 4-4 DUPR. I would never put that at risk. And certainly I'm not going to pay $35 to put that at risk. I don't hate it. What do you guys think about it, MaryEmily?
Oh, I love it. $35 already in the budget. We'll be paying it. We'll be doing it. I mean, I don't necessarily want to say I love it, but I will be partaking, for sure. So roast me for it in the comments if you want. I will happily take it, but
go ahead and roast her, and then pay your $35 for your DUPR reset.
Yeah, my DUPR can't go much lower than where it's at right now. So, I mean, for me, I'm also just like, you know what, let's take a willing chance, because I'm one of the people, like everyone else out here, that thinks that their DUPR is not representative of their playing, and I don't. So it can't go lower, but it could possibly go higher. So I'm willing to take that risk.
I guess here's my question is, when you do the DUPR reset, let's say you usually play in like a 3-0 bracket, are you going to play maybe like a 3-5 bracket? Because A, no one's going to stop you from doing that, and B, you'll be playing higher rated players, so you have a better chance of getting a higher rating playing against those players.
Honestly, no, because how I'm viewing this actually for myself is that I want this to be the most accurate version of my actual rating, right? Which, I mean, technically right now it should be, but I also started playing truly at like the 2-0, 2-5 level without any experience, so I banked a lot of matches then. And then I stopped playing tournaments for about like 6 months, or honestly longer, but I was still playing a lot. So in banking all of those tournaments really, really early on, when I was playing in a 3-0 bracket, but definitely not at that competitive level, I stagnated myself now. So now I could have some great wins, which I have, but it's barely moving that needle because there's just so many matches that are already logged that it's like barely jumping it.
But on the other side of that, I thought in the DUPR system as it was now that there was 2 things. I thought one, that I think it was 18 months that matches were supposed to fall off after 18 months, and I thought the most current matches were supposed to have more weight. So, I mean, I just almost feel like by saying you need to do an 8-week reset, it's like, hey, maybe our algorithm doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Or maybe we need some cash.
Well, probably they need the cash.
Which I'm fine. They deserve the cash. They're vital.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. But I'll tell you what, though, like, I can't say for sure, but I think I don't really think that it's working the way they say it does. Because, for example, in the last 6 months, I have a couple wins over 5-0 teams, men and women's and mixed. I have some wins over some high level 4, like 4-8, 4-9 teams. I don't really have that many losses against like lower teams or anything like that. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a lot of matches.
I beat Atlanta DUPR Pro, Kylie Eulery, and it doesn't matter that she. No, that was like 6 months ago, and it doesn't matter that she's, it was a women's team we played because DUPR
Doesn't see gender.
doesn't see gender or age or anything. But with that said, like I've been a 4-4, and granted I do have like 300 matches logged, but again, if it's more recent, it shouldn't matter. So I don't know. I won't be participating in the reset, but only because I have a reputation to withhold. But if I was, I would do the reset. I would go play a bunch of pro qualifiers against 5-2s, 5-3s, 5-4s. I'm probably not going to win many matches, but if I get 7-8 points, my DUPR's going to explode. I think like that's the crazy part to me is you can really kind of like cheat it if you want, right? Like you could be a 3-0 and go play a bunch of 4-5 tournaments because again, who's going to stop you? Like most tournaments aren't kicking you out, and all you got to do is score points. And all of a sudden you got a 4-0 DUPR.
Any 4-0s that want to risk it, come play with me. Just kidding.
I mean, I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say that DUPR is flawed and definitely needs a bit of a fix. I don't know if this $35 is the solution to that, but I will say, I think that it is a chance for some people who might have had a lot of, life changes to take advantage of something like that. People who, like myself, have lost a good amount of weight and, moving better and playing better. People who have had significant injuries and have either had to change what their dominant paddle hand is, or, I played with a guy who, I don't know what the status of his injury was, how he sustained it, but he has a robotic or a mechanical leg, and I feel like for people who have had changes like that in their lives, I think that it's a good opportunity for them to take advantage of something like that, especially if their DUPR has already been ingrained due to the amount of matches that they played.
But is this the way to fix that, or is there another way that it could be approached?
Yeah,
that'd be a good thing. A $200 medical DUPR review.
Why $200?
I'm just trying to make DUPR
because they need some money.
But I think instead of doing a $35 one.
Yeah.
But
We're talking fines. We're talking that. I mean, let's
true.
go. Get the committee
Everybody
involved.
gets a little money, huh? But to your point, I think that's true. I think that's a good point. I think that's an interesting point. But I also think that's kind of like what DUPR was trying to do with the recency. Like, the more recent matches mattered.
But have
more.
we seen that working is the question.
Well, clearly not, because I'm still 4-4 DUPR. Everybody's favorite one. But, yeah, I don't know.
Can you give me a name of a match that you thought your DUPR should have gone up?
Yeah, we beat Logan Thompson and Aaron Batts. Logan Thompson's a 5.0, 100%.
Calling out these people, telling them that you just beat them out here,
listen, and
like,
he went on and like got silver in the 5-0 Southern Championship. So he's like a real 5-0, and we beat him 11-9 or 15-9 or maybe something like that.
15-11.
And 15-11.
And your DUPR went up 0.048 after the match.
Yeah, that's not enough.
And then you turned around and lost the match.
Yeah, but again, that was
Jessica Brown and Matthew.
Yeah, like a 4-9 and a 4-5 or something like that, though. So again, like it's not a. Well,
should that match really have hurt you or not?
Well,
because they were rated higher.
It should have, because they dominated us.
Really?
Yeah, 15-1 out there.
Do you have all these ones memorized or whatever?
Yeah, I got pretty good memory.
Yeah, you got a DUPR identity deal going on.
Well, when he doesn't play as many matches, it's easier.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that although I don't fully agree with it, I think I am going to still participate in the reset just to see. Well, part of it is that I want to see. There's no penalty to me if I don't, exceed what I'm already at right now. I'm not as my head's not all up in the clouds like a lot of people, as far as I think that my DUPR should be a full point higher than what it is, or a half point higher than what it is. I think I'm maybe like 0.2, 0.3 better than what I am, and I think it better signifies what my true DUPR is. I have a lot of games in my DUPR with partners that either I've never played with before, or even ones that I haven't met before. So just kind of want to take advantage of the opportunity. Do I think that it's a little bit of a cheese to pay the $35? Yes. Am I still going to explore the opportunity? Yes.
It is. I mean, it's a low risk investment. You haven't said much about it yet. I mean, other than kind of the money aspect. I mean, what do you think about? What do you think about it? And I mean, what do you think about people cheating? Like,
well, personally, as a player, I'm 100% in on the DUPR reset. So I mean, for a couple reasons. I mean, one, I want to support DUPR. I mean, I know that may sound crazy, but I think, you know, Southern Pickleball, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without DUPR doing their thing. And so $35, and you know, I'm willing to try it, to see it. And the second Zach's thing, I'm just curious to see how it changes, or if it changes, you know. So
right.
I have some curiosity. So I'm going to be in it. It does, you know, from the other side of it, though, it does make me question the rating system that I was starting to try to start having some confidence in.
Kind of, yeah, understand.
And so now it's making me start questioning you know, do they really have it figured out as well as they thought they did? Or
yeah, I thought it was going to be free. I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Pickleball players.
You think it's going to be free, and then you realize that for the minor league pickleball championships that took place back in December, that you had to subscribe to DUPR Plus to participate.
Well, that is a bit wild. And but here's my question: is like, it's an algorithm, right? And that algorithm is fixed. What am I paying $35 for? I don't want to be rude. Are they doing more work, or did they just put in a bug in the algorithm that's like, separate these games and get them a new rating? And it's the same algorithm.
It just gets more matches in the system too, right? So I mean, data is key. So I mean, by knowing that it's going to get sort of reevaluated in a short period of time, I mean, I would be curious. You know, pickleball.com owns part of DUPR, and you know, the whole infrastructure when we're talking about all those different verticals of the business. So, you know, is this reset are we gonna see an increase in tournament registrations, you know, during that time, league registrations, you know, everything. So that, I mean, it's gonna fuel a lot of other stuff.
Here's another question. Can pros take part in the DUPR reset? Like, imagine if you're, like, take Kylie, for instance, right? She just signed with an MLP team. Her DUPR right now, I think, sits somewhere between a 5.2 and a 5.5. Well, now if she gets the playing time with the bouncers, playing against some of these women where their DUPRs are like 5.8 to 6.5, and she paid for the reset, and then all of a sudden her DUPR is now 6.0 because of her performance. You know, some of these 5.2, 5.3 men, you know, that have grinded their way through PPA Challenger.
4-4 guys.
I mean, you could definitely see something interesting happening. I mean, in our actual neck of the woods, there's going to be the Atlanta Pickleball Championships on the PPA Tour happening during the time of the DUPR reset, right? Too.
Yeah, true.
So I'd be interested to see how you're going to get some people changing things up or shaking things up and trying to figure out how they're stacking it.
Play or not play because I mean, really
But I mean, that's the question. I don't know if I fully know the answer to this. When you participate in the DUPR reset, does it fully, like, you are now considered an NR, not rated, and you can sign up for whatever? Or do you still have to play? You can't sandbag, obviously, right? If my DUPR is a 4.0 and I want to do NR, I can't. You know, the reason why DUPR has worked so well is that it's prevented sandbagging, right? And if my DUPR is, let's say my DUPR right now is a 4.0, and then I go through the reset period, and then I go and play in a 3.5 tournament at a PPA, and I dominate everybody. You know, and now my DUPR says that I'm a 4.5.
Well, yeah, so if all four of us do DUPR reset and we play each other in a match, does it take our old rating and that's our baseline, and then it just doesn't include the data? So you have like bigger spikes and dips. I would have to assume that's how it'd have to be, right?
Yeah, my guess is that it would probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that as with my DUPR currently sitting at a 3.57, that I cannot do the reset and then play 3.0. I can't do that, right? I would think.
No. Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so. But you could probably play 5.0. And again,
but I mean, I could play 5.0 right now. Is
no
question there?
Well, no, but also so with the reset period, just to know, because I'm also pulling it up and looking at it as we're doing it. So realistically, you could also play from March until May 17th, when the end of the reset period is, during that entire 8-week period, and you could not register for your reset until May 16th, May 17th, actually, the final day of it. So it would still be basing your play off of your DUPR at that. It's not like you all of a sudden erase it. It's just at the end of that period, that would then be when you get your new DUPR. So, because it says players can register and pay at any time from now through the end of the reset period on May 17th. You may pay before or during the reset period for your matches to count. So you could also go and play
and then be like,
oh, just kidding. Like, this wouldn't do anything good for me.
Interesting. Wow.
Does it say anything in there about pros being able to participate?
I'm sure they can. Anybody
it
has
says
a DUPR, right?
All it says is that you have to have a DUPR. Now, I mean, the question with that, I think that then would come into play is PPA or UPA, are they going to put in some sort of rule or some sort of contingency saying that if you're on a PPA contract, can you not?
I don't think they care about DUPR so much, really. It's not like they have like. For the pros, it's not like it's not my DUPR.
I mean, you see people on the Challenger that make it through Challenger whose DUPRs are the lowest of the 5.0.
But realistically, would it matter if your DUPR is that high, or would it? I mean, you almost want it to be lower so then you can have the bigger upset and make the bigger name for yourself, and just know that it's like, hey.
Yeah. I just know that a lot of people are turning their DUPR ratings into opportunities. They market themselves, hey, I'm a 6.0 DUPR.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
And I'm offering coaching lessons, or they're trying to say, hey, look, I'm a 6.0 DUPR. Will you send me a paddle for a sponsorship? Or,
that's true.
Trying to be an influencer.
I think there's like.
I'll do the same with my 2.4 DUPR.
I think there's.
Hey everyone, I'm a 2.476, and sign me up.
Anyway. Send her some paddles. She needs
some paddles. I'm great. Yeah,
she needs one. No, I think we could go on this for a long time. I think, I don't know. I guess time will tell. We'll know at the end of May when thousands of people do their DUPR reset and everyone has a new DUPR number.
Scoring. I mean, 8 now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, you asked me, I'm starting to throw it in late, but I mean, 8 matches. I mean, because like I looked at a father-son team the other day that I saw in the tournament. The only time they've ever played together is the father and son, 60-year-old and 20-something-year-old. And so their DUPR is.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Their DUPR is identical.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that 60-year-old and the 20-year-old, and I may have the ages right because I'm like, maybe it was grandfather's son. I don't know. But
oh, I think I know you're talking about. I think it's father's son.
Yeah. But so their DUPRs are identical because they've only played together. I mean, is that really accurate? So can I, like you're a stronger player than I, can I just play with you for that DUPR period only and inflate my rating?
Well, you can't because you have to play with a different partner.
You have to play with at least 2
partners. You do it, but it's still, I mean, to your point, 8 games is still not enough because if I pick 2 people that are
2 5-0s.
That's the thing I hate about this is some of my buddies that are probably listening to the thing that they're like, oh, I don't want to have DUPR for our league or whatever. But the most accurate the rating is when you've played with tons of different people and tons of different things. But everybody's like, oh, I don't want to play this match because I have to play with so-and-so, so I don't want to play this DUPR. But that's really what makes your rating more accurate than when you just cherry pick both your partners
really good teammates
and your tournaments.
Yeah.
Do it.
100%.
I mean,
agreed.
Yeah, that's true. So, let me ask this just really quick before we kind of end it. At the end of the DUPR reset, ideally, what would your DUPR number be?
I mean, I feel like what we're asking me is what do I want my DUPR to be?
Yeah.
Not what I ideally think it's going to be, but what I want my DUPR to be. I just truly would like to be at that like 3.1, 3.2 range right now.
All right.
I'm exposing myself as a horrendously low DUPR for everyone that attributes themselves with that. But yes, I have my nice little 2.4 here.
I've seen that.
So I feel like it can't go lower. So as long as for me it goes a little bit higher, I feel like that's a success.
All right. Zachary?
I'd say between a 3.7, 3.8.
Modest. Everybody's being so modest. Mark?
Well, I mean, we talked about this a little bit off before. I mean, I would so like to be a 4.5.
There we go. There we go.
And in my mind, I like identify as a 4.5, and so I think that my 4.1 whatever it is DUPR is like so wrong that I should really, but my tournament results show that my 4.1 is pretty darn accurate.
Yeah, I think
so. I think I'm probably right. So I mean, I think I'm just curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think someone like you and me, we probably have like close to 400 or 500 matches logged. It's like hard to argue with 500 matches. At the end of the DUPR reset, which I will not be participating in, it sounds like I'm the only one. I hope that I have a 4.4 duper, so that I'm everyone's still favorite
I think
4.4.
that sounds like you'll have a nice solid 4.46 at their 4.6 at the end of that. Yeah.
If you're not at 4.4, you can still be Jeannie Bouchard's #1 fan.
Jeannie Bouchard's #1 fan. Jeannie,
You're gonna get him in trouble.
see you in Atlanta. My wife will be there. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, so DUPR Reset, good or bad? Sounds like good.
I'm indifferent about it.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah,
All right.
but I mean, I don't know if I think it's good, but I am going to participate.
All right. I like
That's
it.
my stance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad.
I'm in the same boat as
You know.
Emily.
Hey, good bio. Like DUPR rating is a status these days. It is like a, it's like a credit score for your pickleball group that you're gonna play in. So
Yeah.
it matters.
I would love to hear, as when people want to write in the comments. I mean, do you want all the tournaments to be DUPR rated, or would you like to have? I mean, I'm hearing more and more people.
Oh, yeah.
It would be a plus for me if the tournament was not DUPR. I might play with my wife or boyfriend or boss at work or somebody that I wouldn't play when it's a DUPR tournament. So can y'all please offer some non-DUPR rated tournaments?
Oh, that's interesting. Let us know in the comments. Would you play in a non-DUPR rated tournament? That is interesting. I wouldn't. I would. I wouldn't care, but I don't really. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you?
Why would I not?
Because Corin wants those big wins documented.
I want to say I beat a pro. No, I think for me,
I feel like DUPR
I
adds
like-
credibility to it. To be honest,
that credibility, I just it feels like I'm playing for something too.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're playing for a medal, which is very important for a
Well,
lot
if
of
it's
people.
just a charity tournament, you're going out to support a dog rescue.
I'm not that passionate about charities usually. No, I'm just kidding. I've done it, but it can.
no, I think DUPR adds credibility
Could be
to
a
it for
charity
a tournament. I mean, there have been
DUPR,
tournaments
yeah.
I've seen that I'm like, I'm not going to play him because it isn't going to my DUPR. Not that I'm necessarily sitting here trying to fight to climb it, but it's just like it makes me feel like it's actually a legitimate competition that I'm going
Yeah.
in. And I also know that I'm going to get more on level play because usually if you're telling someone that they're reporting it to DUPR, you're also getting people that are actually
Serious.
well,
Yeah,
they're
it
also
keeps
actually
the
have
same
DUPR
bags
ratings.
and all that kind of
Yeah, I
stuff.
know we're about to have to go. But I got one more question if you're saying that. So if you feel that strongly that DUPR adds credibility, seriousness to the tournament, all that, should we all, I mean, we're joking about $35 fee, but is DUPR adding enough value to the game that we should be paying DUPR an annual fee for DUPR?
Oh, now hold on. Now I'm not paying nobody nothing.
No.
I mean,
Maybe, I don't know.
$10 a year to DUPR.
Oh, I'd do $10.
They can
a
get
year.
their
Okay.
DUPR Plus or whatever premium subscription that they're making everyone do.
I would do $10 a year.
Are you
I used to
DUPR
pay
Plus?
for.
No.
I am.
I'm okay with an ad.
Yeah, it's just ads, but
Why do DUPR Plus. Just to,
I don't know. I signed up for it when it first came out.
it was
Just
crazy when it first
forgot
started.
to
and I just
400 ads that they were trying to get you.
Yeah.
I've just kind of kept it. I mean,
But listen, I used to pay for USA Pickleball membership or whatever because you had to. So if you had to, $35 a year or whatever, yeah, I would at that point. But so DUPR Reset good, line calls and pros bad. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Balls Deep Podcast.
Balls Deep
Amazing.
Podcast, great.
Be looking out for an email from me, ladies.
Shout out Ava Ignatowicz. Shout out her Ava's Minute or whatever, where she's kind of like going through controversy and people
Probably need to
slamming
be
their
suspended
paddles.
by the PPA, but
I would say
We love the
probably she should be, yeah, but I will see.
I also have a weird fascination with Tyler Loon too on that thing. Every episode, but that's
Well,
competing podcast.
who knows?
yeah.
Who knows? Southern Pickleball Podcast. Great. And we're so glad that you're here, and we're so glad that you watched with us. Let us know in the comments how you would fix pro pickleball and amateur pickleball. If you're with Swing Vision, hit us up. Mike at southernpickleball.com, not Mark. Actually, hit up Mike. He's the new big dog. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Let us know if you're going to do the DUPR Reset, and we'll see you next week.